What's up guys, Brian here from Audio Geek. I'm back yet again with another audio review for you guys. I'm super stoked today. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of EarAcoustic audio. So the product we have today of that brand is apparently the best sounding in their whole range. This is a very special product. I'm very humbled to have it with me up for review. And a big thanks to Zoe there from EarAcoustic Audio. So guys, today we are going to have a look at the SPA Limited Edition 2. There's a Limited Edition 1, this is the next one, and apparently this is the best sounding one. Now, as you guys know, the SPA Pro Max, I scored full marks. It's the only IEM I've ever scored full marks. And now this one is apparently the best in the range, but obviously I'm going to judge it on certain criteria, you know, as in price per performance. It's not just if it's going to sound better, then I'm going to also score it full marks. Oh no, we are going to put this through the test and see the ratios, price per performance, how this one stacks up. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the SPA Limited Edition 2. This is a $429 IEM, by the way. So it goes in the upper price brackets in the market, and it's for more discerning audiophiles, I would think. But let's see. I'm always so happy to unpack these EarAcoustic audio products, because man, they do a lot of effort with their packaging. I mean, look at this beautiful box. It's not the usual just square box you just flip open. They do a lot of effort with their packaging. It's something that you expect with a premium product, but also the nice thing is some of the cheaper products also have this premium packaging. So it's just something across their range that they do really good packaging. So if we open up the box, it flips open like this, you are immediately greeted by these faceplates, and I'm on purpose not focusing in on them, because we'll speak a bit later on the physical look and build of these little ones. So on top we have the faceplates, and it says Silver Angel, by the way. One thing I do love of EarAcoustic Audio is, check this out. They send me this really cool mascot, and I have to say it looks exquisite in photos if you hang the in-ear monitors onto it. I like my Silver Angel character. Thank you for that, EarAcoustic Audio. That's a really beautiful gesture from you guys. If we lift the part out with the faceplate, you come to another part it's your accessories. Looks like this, and if we open this up, then we've got this thing. I'm speaking from knowledge now. This is a bracelet, some sort of bracelet, Lucky Charm bracelet that they send you with. I'll check that out, and we can speak about this in the look and build. Then you've got your nice little manual, and we've also got tips here. Yeah, so it's 2 pairs of tips like the other models, 1 pair of wide bores, and then these will probably be balanced or narrow bores. Yeah, they're more narrow bore. Check out the bottom here while this one is out. You've got your really cool case. It looks different than the other cases I've had so far. Oh yeah, I can immediately tell you guys, this is a really nice cable. I love the cables from I'm a very big skeptic on cables, because I've got high-end cables, I've got lower-end cables. I'm a very big skeptic, and that also it influences my ranking system. When a company, even if they have an in-ear monitor that sounds really good, and the build on the faceplate and everything is nice, and they give you a shitty cable, then that influences my review scores, because cables are very important to me, and I can feel immediately this is nice. But we'll speak about this. And then also, thank you very much, they included this really nice cable organizer. Not that Velcro nonsense you get from on most IEMs. You get that. I chuck them away immediately. I get them, I chuck them away. Yeah, then we have a nice little denim case. And that is it for the unboxing. Now we can move over to the look and build, have a little bit of a deeper. When we get into a little bit of a deeper look at build quality, like I've said in my previous reviews, and it's almost like it's becoming a habit now. When I open a pair of EarAcoustic monitors, I just know it's going to be quality. Man, guys, this looks like audio jewelry. This is the face plates, the little diamond looking, the snake on the one side, and the EarAcoustic logo on the other side. The face plates, man, it looks like diamonds that are encrusted there. It really looks like jewelry. The shell part itself is a metal part, and then it's got these contours on it, which is a distinguishing look. And with these EarAcoustic audio models, you can get confused very easily, but luckily with these I can immediately, when I'm looking at different pairs, I can identify these because of this contour that it's got on there. I have to say they seem really well built. The ear tips, as always, just take a lot of effort to get on. I always ask my wife to help me with this stuff because I've got such big hands, and then they always feel so clumsy working on these things. If we have a look at the cable, and I love these types of cables. The test I always do with the cable is see how it coils around your house. Some of these plastic cables are so hard, man. And this is a nice, it's a 2-braid, nice thick cable. I always prefer a thicker cable to these thin and flimsy ones. I've got nice 2-pin metal connectors, the 3.5mm on the other side. It's also nice metal and shiny. You can feel its quality. If you work with cables as intensely as I do, then you can immediately, when you take a cable out, you can feel if it is a good quality cable or not. Actually connecting them now because I want to check out the fit on these. Yeah, the tips, the normal silicone tips, you get them. I'm putting the narrow bores on because I'm obviously, when I start listening and do my listening test, and I listen for bass first, so I'm obviously going to put the more narrow bore tips on for that. If we check out the fit quickly for you guys. Yeah, they do fit a bit nice, but I know I'm going to have to use the chin slider. I can feel if the chin slider is not up there, they're trying to unhook. So I think I'm definitely going to be listening with them with the chin slider. They fit really well. They do not protrude out of the ears much. So they're not that big and bulky, they're just the right size. Okay, but I have to say, I've got big ears. So I don't know the guys with the smaller ears, how it's going to work for you guys. But for me, this is a really great fit, guys. And they're not that heavy. It's all metal, and the top part, yeah, I can see it's resin with the little diamond thingies, but they're not that heavy. So I don't think they'll do a lot of fatigue on your ears. I'm not talking about the music and the insides. I'm talking about fatigue on your ears, like hanging, clamping down. It's not that bad. They've also got a very cool zip open case. It's from a denim. It's like denim jeans, but it's silver. It's actually quite nice. I like this one. It differs a bit from the other cases as well. It's got nice velvet inside. So yeah, as you can expect from EarAcoustic audio, build quality is right on par with the price I can see here. This goes for $429, which is in the higher bracket market, and you do expect good build quality for that. I do really appreciate them doing the shells in metal, the bottom part. Gives it just a bit of quality. I'm always a little bit torn between resin and metal, but I do prefer metal. Yeah, so this is the little bracelet they give you. And then it's got a nice little diamond thingy here. I'm just not getting a good enough focus, but it's got a nice little diamond thingy here with the EarAcoustic logo. Very nice gesture from these guys. So yeah, that's it for the look and build. Now we can go over to the connectivity. If we look at the connectivity, you're obviously getting a 3.5 millimeter. So it's the usual cell phones, laptops, netbooks, PC desktop, headphone amplifier, anything with a 3.5 millimeter, you can use it with. EarAcoustic Audio actually makes a very cool 4.4 millimeter upgrade cable. It's purple. I know it shows blue now on the camera, but this thing's purple. It's the same type of materials and everything as this cable here. So I think if you do decide to get this one, maybe you can get the 4.4 millimeter as an extra cable width. If you do prefer 4.4 millimeter balance connections, it's a real nice cable. I'll actually do a video on it sometime. So, but yeah, with this model as they send it to me, I will be connecting it to all my DAPs. I will try a little bit with my laptop. And yeah, that's it for the connectivity. We can move over to the specs. If we have a look at the specs quickly, I'm very interested in this driver as this is a flagship driver. It's an 11.4 millimeter. This is going to be a mouthful, guys. Pay attention. It's a 11.4 millimeter titanium gold ball top plus silicon crystal edge double-sided composite diaphragm double magnetic circle double chamber dynamic coil unit. That is a mouthful. I'm very interested in this one. Make no mistake, some people think hybrids are better. I can tell you guys now from personal experience that a single a dynamic driver done well, you will go out to beat it. I see the sensitivity is 111 dBs. Yeah, that's easy. Impedance 25 ohms. You're gonna drive this with your cell phone to insane levels. You can basically, you're not even going to need an amplifier. Some of us guys that uses amplifiers, we're going to say that the more power is just going to tighten everything up a bit, but it's not going to be a problem driving this from your cell phone even, guys. The frequency response range is 5 hertz to 40 kilohertz, so we know these will be able to dig deep, and they are also going to be going very high. The cables, 0.8 millimeter dual pin. It's a LITS coaxial bundle, oxygen-free copper and silver-plated wire, and it's in 1.2 meters. So yeah, that's it for the specs. I'm going to now be listening to these for a week extensively, make some notes, and then I'll be back in a week with my opinion on the sound. And I am back with our sound impression, guys. Normally I listen to an in-ear monitor for about a week, and then I will do will make some notes, and then I will get to the final sound impressions. And with this EarAcoustic Audio SPA Limited 2, I took, I'm gonna have to admit, I took 2 weeks. This thing sounds so nice now, and I wanted to do a really deep, a really thorough sound impression on these. I've actually had the EarAcoustic Audio people ask me, hey man, you said your review was going to be a week earlier, what's going on? So just know that I evaluated these very well. In this 2 weeks listening to them, I actually discovered that this one is the SPA limited edition 2. So there's a previous model that was also a limited edition, and the main difference is the driver and the tuning and everything's the same, cable is the same. It's just the material on the shells. So where this one has got this beautiful contoured CNC milling, the SPA limited edition 1 had, I think that was more cast, and it actually looked like tinfoil. If you take tinfoil and you crinkle it, it looked like crinkled tinfoil. So I like this one a lot more, and I'm happy I got this one. So if we get into the sound here, I just want to get my notes up. It is definitely a V shape. It is a V shape done beautifully. I cannot believe the amount of technicalities and stuff that they are available, that they could get out of this specific little one driver. It is easier when you've got a hybrid setup, because then you can have a specific driver to do the highs, you can have a specific driver for the mids, and you can even have several drivers to do those things. So what if you have a single driver configuration and you can get this type of sound, then that warms my heart, because that is something special and that is something very difficult. So yeah, it is a V shape. Tip choice is important here, because what I experienced was with the narrowbore tips, basically that was V shape, and with the wide bores it turned it into a very balanced IEM. So it is important when I describe it, because now maybe you will buy it and you will listen with the wide bores and it will sound balanced to you, and then maybe you'll come back to me and say, yeah Brian, but you said this thing is V-shape and it's very balanced. So just check that difference between the tips, guys. Me personally, I preferred it listening with the bass tips. If I start with the bass, I used, I think, 1 or 2 songs here of a friend of mine's YouTube playlist. The guy's name's Yensiento. I don't want to mention his real name, but I put a link up to his YouTube channel. You guys can join there. That guy's got a very cool amount of testing songs, especially if you're a reviewer and if you want to listen for bass response, you want to listen for this. So I'm going to link it in the description. You guys can go check it out. There was a song called Shutdown from Massano. The bass attack with the narrowbore tips, the bass attack was brilliant. It was super fast and punchy. The mid bass slam, there was deep extended sub bass, but if I have to describe the type of bass of the SPA Limited, is that it's not a very warm and thick bass. It's a very controlled, tight, clean, sterile bass, audiophile bass, if I can call it that, because it is very well controlled. Another song, Hilaldeep Tron, the mid bass was more prominent than the sub bass, and I think the mid bass bleeds a little bit into the sub bass, and also this beautiful mid range, man. It stands out and it takes away from the bass. So another nice thing is there's no piercing treble. So and I've especially tested it with a few bass songs that's got a few higher pitch treble sounds mixed into it. So what happens then is, if you've got a bright earphone, you cannot turn the volume up too much, because what's going to happen is the treble is going to pierce your ears and you're not going to be able to listen to the bass that much. So with the SPA Limited, there's not a problem with that. Muse, Supermassive Black Hole. The bass was not thick at all, not like I'm used to bass, let's say from an IEM like the QKZ times HBB. You know, there's not that thick, very thick, creamy, warm bass. Will Sparks, the song's name is just Pulse. Man, I love that song. There's very deep sub-bass rumbles on that song, and the rumble was present here, but it was not the type of bass head sub-bass that you are looking for. So same thing, Kevin de Vries Metro, that's the ones with one of those high notes mixed in, which can hurt your ears if you've got a bright IEM, and this is where I discovered that the treble is not bright at all on the SPA Limited. Yeah, another cool song. You guys can check this out. It's from Indira, Paganotto, and the song's name is Legend. Man, that song is a psychedelic experience. Um, what stands out here is because it is a very fast, punchy song. The amount of control that is on that this driver has on the bass, that stood out. It was very, very tight on control and controlled, and yeah, it aced that test of mine. So the overall bass, it's tight, it's controlled, there's no muddiness. Um, like I said, a little bit of bleeding of the mids into the sub bass. There is sub bass, but it can take a lot of more sub bass. What I did, for example, is I plugged it in straight to my Forze Audio SK1 desktop amplifier, which has got a nice function which you can boost the bass. And man, let me tell you, this thing can take a bass equalizer like a champ. So yeah, now we can move over to the mids. If we have a look at the mids, guys, um, obviously I wanted to test out the vocals. If you check out the graph on the SPA Limited from EarAcoustic, you will see that there is a region in the treble. It's between 4 and 5K where it is very flat, and that is normally a region where you get shoutiness. So if I am a spikes there, then you can expect some shoutiness. I did mention also in my cons for this SPA Limited, I did mention a bit of sibilance, because I think it is important that I mention it to people. Don't expect just because an in-ear monitor has a big price tag that it won't have any faults. And this is also where diminishing returns come in. I feel this one is the sweet spot, and after this price you start just only getting diminishing returns. So to get back to the mids, man, the vocals, Cranberries Zombie, Dolores sounded like an angel. I can see there is a bit of a boost in the upper mids. The lower mids with the male vocals and stuff sounded a bit recessed to me, and the female vocals sounded a bit more boosted. So oh yeah, freaking cool thing about these, I found them exquisite for heavy metal music. For some reason, and you will not believe, to evaluate for male vocals, I choose Rammstein Eifersucht. And now people are going to ask, why you listen for vocals on Rammstein? But I mean, Till Lindemann has got such a unique voice, and I wanted to check that because it's also deep. I wanted to see if there is a recession in the mids, and I did discover that the upper mids is a bit more prominent than the lower mids. Wow, so while I discovered that, I started going over to listening to a lot of songs in my rock playlist in Tidal, and I got some Def Leppard playing, and man, Hysteria, those guitar, that guitar intro, and then the guitar continues through the rest of the song. So man, I have to say, anything with a string sounds very great on the SPA Limited too. This is one of my favorite performers. Her name is Regina Spektor, and there's a song that she does that's called Laughing With. And wow, if you are a Christian and you read the lyrics to the song, then it hits you really hard. So it's a beautiful song for me. And with the balanced tips, it sounded very balanced. So for me, it was like a night and day difference when you swap tips. All of a sudden, the bass is away, and with the whiteboard tips, it also brought a bit of the treble down for me. So it took a bit of the sparkle away, and it evened things out a lot more. Also, that lower mid dip, it also brought that kind of up, so the whole sound pattern changes to a very balanced pattern. Our Shangri-La from Marc Knopfler and Emmylou, there's piano inside there, and there's a guitar, and the mid parts on the piano, and all the mid parts on the guitar sounded phenomenal, man. Emmylou's voice, she's a nightingale. So if I have to summarize the mids for you, it's for me, it's audiophile sound. That's what you like as an audiophile, but with the whiteboard tips on, you want it balanced, you want nothing out of place. Me personally, I prefer a W shape. So if I was to ever equalize this, I would maybe just do something about the lower mids, turn it more into a type of a W shape, you know. So yeah, then we can move over to the treble. When I evaluated the treble, I also had the whiteboard nozzles on, and I did tell you guys about that. For in the 4 to 5 kilohertz range, there's a certain flatness there. So man, you get non-screechiness in the treble, and you also get a little bit of sparkle that comes through, and that is very it was very predominant on a song by Yello. It's called Till Tomorrow. So there's a couple of high percussions in there and a flute I always listen to, and it's almost in that region. So treble, the Marc Vallee trio, Lights of Barcelona, man, that's one of my, you guys must check that one out. It's one of my favorite songs for evaluating, not just treble, because there's bass inside there. It's one of those reference songs. Also, when you want to like demonstrate a pair of in-ear monitors to someone, I will take my DAP or my phone or from wherever we're listening from, and I will give them the in-ear monitors, and then I will play this song, that Lights of Barcelona, because it's a beautiful song and it's very well recorded. So on that specific song, the cymbals, it sounded balanced. There were also some small effects and sparkles that you can hear in the song, and that was also very balanced. So Andrew Hill, Blackfire. Oh, I remember that one. There was a trumpet there. And if you have a bright IEM, the trumpet is very dominant, and yeah, it was not. It was very balanced. So overall, I don't have to even go very deep into the treble to tell you guys that the treble is balanced. What I did find out though was on this specific song, man, it sounded like worn out vinyl, and I thought, damn. Can't be the IEM, because I've listened to other songs now and these things sound phenomenal, but this song sounded really shit. So I then thought, okay, so maybe my DAP, maybe the synergy between the DAP and the in-ear monitors, and it wasn't that, because on another DAP and on my cell phone and on another DAP it sounded still the same. So that just actually showed me that these SPA Limited 2 are very revealing. They reveal bad recordings. So if you listen to something on them and it sounds bad, then guys, I promise you it's not the in-ear monitor, it's the recording quality. If we check the technicalities, man, the instrument separation, and I'm mentioning that one first because it was absolutely brilliant. You can clearly hear the instruments in their own space and time, and it's with an emphasis on guitar. Man, if you had, say, in a song, a bass guitar and an electric guitar together, and with drums and with a piano and stuff like that, then the guitars will still stand out. The dynamic range is huge, and that also leads to better instrument separation. Something I see that not a lot of reviewers mention. I do in every review of mine, because I think it is one of the most important aspects of an in-ear monitor. It's called PRAT. It's the pace, rhythm and timing. Not to get very technical, the only thing it means is when you put an in-ear monitor on your ear and you put a song on, do you nod your head, or do you tap your feet, or do you move your body, or do you really get into the song? That's called prat. So how do you evaluate that? Put the in-ears in your monitors on your ears and see, play some of your tunes and see if you can get a vibe going. Prat on this thing is amazing. It's through the roof. I especially enjoyed this for chores around the house, but with the narrow board tips. What you are getting here is a very balanced and relaxed sound with the wider board tips. So if you are looking for a very sterile, very analytical type of neutral IEM, this is not it. For me, the technicalities are better than on the SPA. than the STA. I've reviewed the STA Pro Max so far, and I have to tell you, the flagship driver in the SPA will obviously, and the tuning is also different, so you will obviously think that the SPA one is better. Well, I scored the STA, when I took everything into account, I scored that one 5 stars. So we're gonna have to wait for my conclusion to see if I did score this one 5 stars indeed. So this is the final part of the review where we come to my conclusion. Um, I think a lot of guys will be curious if I did indeed score it 5 stars. Uh, well, you're going to be disappointed. I scored it 4.5 out of 5 stars, and the reason for that is because there's no 4.4 millimeter balanced option, and I think at this price range you would expect the company to give you that option. In EarAcoustic Audio's defense, they do offer a beautiful upgrade cable. This thing's in 4.4 balanced, and you can also remove the tip, and you can get the USB-C connection, and you can also do the normal 3.5. So I would, if you have the money, $429 for this IEM, then obviously you will have the money for this cable. I must just inquire about Zoe, to Zoe about this, because I do not see it for sale on their website. I just see some silver cable or stuff there. So if you want to buy this, then please inquire to them about this. It's the same type of material, the same type of cable, to my knowledge, like the normal cables they do. It's just that you get the 4.4 balanced width. Who should buy it? Well, V-shape lovers. This is V-shape done right. And this is the start of diminishing returns territory for me. So if you want to start getting into that part, before you want to get your end game and stuff like that, then this is the sweet spot, guys. If you do have the money, buy it with confidence. I think audiophiles is going to be crazy about this, especially audiophiles that in their stereo setups love full range speakers like the noise and stuff like that, because it's a single driver done very well. So that is the end of my review, and thank you for watching, guys. Till next time. Guys, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to watch my review. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. Bottom right is the subscribe button. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up in the comments. We can also join my Facebook group. A lot of cool guys there, lots of information, lots of nice products.